Today's Dear Hummie comes from Rod, and he asks, Hummie, as you well know, digi-scrappers have a need for a huge storage. We want to save all our creations as well as the plethora of stuff we use to create them. How do you personally solve this dilemma? Tizzy is saying hi next to me. That's a great question. So glad you asked it. And I must say I kind of fail at the very end of it, and I'll explain why. First, I want to point out I do use 3 online storages. I have a copy.com, and I'll put that link in the description of this video. And you can go and click on that and get some free storage, and when you do, it will also get me some free storage, so I appreciate you using my link. But I use Copy. This is where I download from my camera directly onto my Copy folder, and it immediately uploads to copy.com. And if I paid for an online storage, I think this is the one that I would use. It's my temporary storage for my photos till I move them to a permanent place, since I'm only using the free storage, and I really like it. Now, my Google Drive, I also have a folder for Google Drive, and I mostly use that to transfer files from myself, either from my laptop to my other laptop, my laptop here to work. Sometimes I'll upload to my Google Drive from my phone in order to download from one of my computers. So I usually use that for personal stuff, other stuff in there. And then you see I also have Dropbox, and I use that free, and I mostly use that to share with other digital scrapbookers and coordinate with projects. That's what I use that for mostly. I use Google Drive to share a lot too. So those are some things. I do have some of my files in those 3 folders, so they get backed up immediately. But let me show you some other things I've got going on. Well, here's the Windows backup, which I've recently started using. You can see it shows that my drive is off, but I try to plug it in before I go to work every day, and then about a half hour after I'm at work, it automatically backs up my computer onto this EHD. I mostly use Seagate EHDs. I had a Western Digital, and I didn't like the software, basically, that it used. It wanted to use their software to back up, and I'd seen a lot of failures of them. But basically, this is a 1.5 terabyte, and you see it says a working or a partial backup. I had to put stickers on them because I had more than one. And this is what I use as my working EHD. This is the one I plug in. This is the one I leave plugged in. This is the one I back up to, my temporary backups. What happens with EHDs is why they go out often is because people leave them plugged in all the time, and then they get hot, and without the big fans that laptops don't have big fans anymore either. I always keep a fan underneath my laptop. That's a fan under there. But they just will burn up if you leave them on all the time. And I can tell you that I'm going to find some wood to knock on, had an EHD burn up. But this is the one I use often, and so if it crashes simply because I use it too much and it burns up, it's no big deal, because I have all of my information on these 2 EHDs. This is 1.5, and I even put the date when I got it. So this is September 2013. Got it in March of 2012, so I've actually had this for over a year. But everything I have is on this one and on this one. Now, the difference between these, this is important to have because this one plugs into the wall and uses its own power. The problem with having more than one of these is that you can only have one of these plugged into the laptop. This just goes into the USB port and gets its power from your computer, and my laptop will only power one of these at a time, so I cannot have both of these plugged in at the same time. I don't have everything on this one, just things that I use or need to find more often, plus my temporary backups. And these two have a duplicate of everything I own. And so I plug them both in at the same time, and I have two folders open on my desktop, and I move things, copy them to both of them at the same time in the same folders. So they're duplicates. My problem is they both set right here. And should my house catch on fire, or should a tree fall on my bedroom, you know, or somebody come in to burglarize and they grab both of them, everything I ever did electronically is gone, whammo. Now, I did used to take one of these to my work office, but I found I kept forgetting it to bring it home in order to back up, and so I never backed up. Tizzy says good morning. Good morning, Tizzy. I think she wants breakfast. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to have to close, but that's my problem, and I think what I need to do is get yet a third and put it in a safe deposit box at the bank or at a relative's house. I don't really want to take it to work, because I live so close to work, and a tornado could hit both places at the same time, and then I'd probably be dead, but maybe I'd survive, or my family would want all this stuff. So I have also taken it to the basement and put it in a waterproof tub, because maybe the fire wouldn't get down there. I know it might be safer from a tornado. It wouldn't be, it's kind of hidden in all the junk down there. Burglars wouldn't get to it, but that doesn't really keep it very safe from a fire, unless I would get a fireproof safe, which I've thought about that, but I'm not sure how safe, how effective those really are. And I could put the fireproof safe in the basement, but I need to get a 30 HD and put it at a location that is safe from catastrophe. Maybe somebody else's house, but then again, I wouldn't want them looking at all my personal stuff. I don't know. God's protecting me on that one. So, yeah, I use the Windows backup, which goes to this one, and this is the one I work off of. And if I want to take files that I'm working with to my other laptop, I will plug this in at my other laptop, but this doesn't have everything on it. That's what I do, and thanks for the great question.